Today I'll be lubricating our weight distribution hitch, specifically the joints for the two arms of the weight distribution hitch. This is something that you should do before each trip, but to be honest with you, this is something that we completely forgot to do last year when we first got our camper. For some reason, in the back of my mind, I'd remembered the dealer saying you didn't need to lubricate it, or lubricating it could potentially reduce the efficiency of the weight distribution hitch. But I must have misheard them or misunderstood what they said, because I did look through the manual and it specifically does call out doing this each time you tow the camper for maintenance. Last year we spent a lot of time just learning how to use the camper, and this year we've been kind of going back through all the owner's manuals and looking for different maintenance things that we can do to help keep our camper in good shape. If these type of videos are interesting to you, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, so as we find things, we will share them as YouTube videos and you'll get a notification when those are released. We have an Equalizer weight distribution hitch. There are several different models of this hitch. The difference mainly is just in terms of maximum tongue weight and tow capacity and things like that. But the owner manual for this hitch is for all of the, I believe, 4 different models. So what I'm going to show you today from that manual will work for all of those different Equalizer hitch models. If you have a different type of hitch, you'll want to check your own manual to see in terms of lubrication how often you should do it and how much and stuff like that. I will be doing a more in-depth video of our specific weight distribution hitch in the near future. And for lubrication, I will be using the Equalizer sway control hitch lubrication. This is what they recommend in the manual because it's their brand that goes along with their hitch. But I'm sure there's other products similar to this that you could use. It was a bit expensive for a 4-ounce tube, but it actually is quite a bit bigger tube than I expected for being only 4 ounces. And you don't really use that much each time, so I do anticipate it will last for a while. I first wanted to give an angle of underneath the weight distribution hitch to show you what they consider the friction surfaces. They have this diagram basically in the manual, but the friction surfaces are basically where the arm's going to slide against the hitch. So up here on this plate on this side and underneath on this arm, and then the same on the other side here and here. And that's essentially where we're going to lubricate. Before you lubricate, you're supposed to make sure that the surface is clean and dry. So I'm just going to use an old rag to wipe off each of the places we're going to put the lubrication. But first I'm going to open up the arms a little bit wider. And then I'm just going to wipe underneath where we're going to be putting the lubrication. And same with underneath each arm, so on each side. Then we're going to open up the tube. This specific tube has a twist top. And then I'm just going to put some on my hand and rub it underneath the plate. Same on the other side. And then same for under each arm. And then I'm just going to pull the arms back in a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, this is the first year we've been lubricating our weight distribution hitch, so if there are any suggestions you have on how we can do it better, or suggestions for other products to use that would be as good, please leave us a comment. The other thing we're curious about is whether or not we should be lubricating the hitch ball. There is nothing in the manual about that, but the lubricant that we bought mentions on it that it can extend your ball and hitch life. So I would be interested in hearing from people if they lubricate their hitch ball and what product they use for that, how often they do it, and how much to put on. As always, if you have any suggestions or questions for us, please leave us a comment. Happy camping, and thanks for watching.